Hello ladies, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going deeper on this book of Old Money, New Woman, and we are going to talk all about how we can be influenced like old money women. Do they even get influenced? Well, if you're new here, my name is Nicole. I have been on a little bit of a level up journey, and with that, I have been learning that we need money to level up in life. But how do we acquire that? And is it a matter of how we acquire it, or is it a matter of how we spend a little bit wiser? And that's where I've been loving talking about old money and old money habits, because people that have old money, yes, they have these resources, but they're a lot smarter with their resources than new money people. And so let's talk a little bit more about how we should be influenced, if we should be influenced at all, especially if we're looking at how old money women are influenced. But if that sounds like your cup of tea, I'd be so honored if you press subscribe or like this video, or do both, to let me know that you're enjoying this topic, you're liking this video, you're liking this series. So let's talk about it. So what I've learned from this book is there's mainly three major influences that people are going to be influenced by. And really, these are the three main avenues that have the potential to negatively impact your life. And that is mass media, friends, and family. So obviously, I work as a content creator. Everything that I do as a job is an advertisement. And even if I'm not actively advertising something, I'm advertising a concept, a dream, an ideology. And I think for me, I'm very aware of this because it's what I do for a job. However, I think most people understand that we are being marketed and advertised to in commercials. But do you realize that you're being advertised to and marketed to in everything? Like in the moments, even in between the commercials, you are being advertised something. And so I think if you've been following this channel for some period of time, or if you've heard how I just deleted all of my Instagram followers, for me, that's where I felt really convicted that I understand that we are constantly advertising. I want to advertise something that I will be proud of or has substance. And that's where I'm so honored when I get comments from some of you ladies saying that you like my content in the Level Up community the most because it's relatable and it has substance and it's more than just beauty tips and tricks. And although I think those things are important, I'm just very highly aware and sensitive to what I am advertising to people. So essentially, when you realize that any type of advertising is selling you a dream, it's selling you that transformation, you can kind of look back and see, right, is this accurate? Is this achievable? Is this the best case scenario? Or is this something that is realistic and reality? And I think often when we look back and we're like, okay, this isn't realistic, this isn't reality, and it's not achievable, is that going to be the best use of your money, your time, your resources? Probably not. Essentially, we're being sold the ideal, but is that achievable? And then it goes into a voice note. So as I mentioned, I've been working as a content creator for the last few years. I am in commercials.
It does just that, times frizz.
And it doesn't feel heavy.
This nailed it.
So I have a really accurate understanding of advertising and when we are being sold, how we are being sold, etc. And I think once you see this, you can't unsee it and you realize that we are on a hamster wheel of overconsumption. So here are my 3 tips that I've learned from this book in how we can maybe not be influenced as much and adopt a more old money mindset to advertising. So tip number 1, use the limits. If you need to unfollow, unfollow. If you need to mute something, mute something. If you need to shut off the TV, shut off the TV. You are being advertised to all of the time, and if you actually don't need anything, why are you watching it? The next tip is to purchase when you need something, not just because you're bored. I often don't go looking for things until I need something. And technology is amazing. If you need anything, you just have to type it into any social media platform and you will get a list of options for you. Whereas when you are on email lists and stuff and it's being sent to you, I think sometimes we feel like, oh, how will I know what is out there? And I would need to keep my finger on the pulse. But really, social media apps, technology is so good these days that anything that you need, you can search for and find exactly what you're looking for. So you don't need to be on all these email lists, etc. Now, tip number 3 is not in this book, but it is covered in a previous series that we did, and it's all about having a 10-item wardrobe. And I also saw this TikTok that I will play right after this.
How the best dressed girls in the world always spend less money on fashion than you whilst wearing designers and actually consume fashion mindfully. I stalk them enough so you don't have to. Vogue editors have spoken about using this technique. At the beginning of every single season, you choose 7 outfits and you wear them on repeat. If you choose the pieces in your wardrobe that are timeless and make sure that all of your future purchases are also timeless, you're going to be able to roll over up to 80% of your wardrobe from season to season, and that's why it's sustainable. You end up buying basically just 2 or 3 pieces per year, which means that you have a much bigger budget to shop designer, and even if you still don't, you can buy them secondhand. The advantage of outfit repeating, in addition to everything I just said, is that whilst women spend on average 17 minutes getting dressed every single day and it causing decision rage, decision fatigue, you never have to think in the morning what you're going to be wearing. I've been doing this for a year and it changed my life. You think people will notice? They don't. If anyone does, ask them.
And she was saying how people in the fashion industry look good all the time is because they've got like 5 outfits and they just wear those outfits on repeat. And people think, oh wow, this person looks amazing all the time. And it's not that this person is that stylish or looks amazing all the time because they're this amazing fashionista. It's because they've got a few outfits that they just repeat and wear nonstop. And people that run into them on the street or when they see them, they usually don't see them in that outfit multiple times, but they always look on their A game because they've perfected those 5 outfits. And that is exactly why I'm loving a 10-item wardrobe. Yes, I feel a little bit limited and I need to expand my extras, which you'll hear all about this in my spring 10-item wardrobe video. But if you are looking to not be influenced and have a little bit more of an old money woman mindset when it comes to being advertised to, that's something you should definitely consider. To make sure you're the one primarily in control of the direction your life is taking, it's often necessary to take an objective inventory of your friends. Your friends know you intimately. They've been around you for a long time, so they're important to you. They can be a great source of encouragement and support as you pursue your goals and share your life experiences. They can be a source of great comfort and support for you in difficult times, and you can do the same for them. Likewise, they can sometimes persuade you to do less than brilliant things you would never otherwise do. Peer pressure is a very real thing, and sometimes not a good thing. You have so much in common that you may think choices that make sense for them also make sense for you. This may not always be so. It is a time-tested fact that you will become like your friends. Don't think you are different in this regard. You will adopt many of their attitudes and habits over time. If your aspirations differ markedly from theirs, your friendship will most likely fade. You will either study harder or study less depending upon your friends. You'll either get into trouble or get into grad school depending on your friends. And you'll either save or waste money depending on your friends. And when you're successful, you'll either have to watch your back or enjoy a pat on the back depending on your friends. You may be able to have a beer or a cup of coffee every once in a while with your friends who have taken a different road than you, but you won't be able to spend quality time and really share important things with them if you're saving and planning to start a new business and they're raising hell at the local pub every night. Don't expect much camaraderie, support, or understanding. They don't have the same priorities as you. They may not be going in the same direction or share your values anymore. So let's talk about friends. I've definitely been the person that people have just cut off. And now when I look back in my life, I'm like, oh, this is probably why this person stopped talking to me. But equally, I have also been the person that has kind of ended certain relationships because I just see that it's not doing the best for me, my life, and my goals, and where I see myself going. And I think that that's okay. Now, I haven't officially announced this, but I have started a podcast, and I'll have it linked for you in the comment section down below. But I have a podcast all about how we can have better friendships, and I talk about this a little bit more in detail, so if you want to go listen to that, I think you would really enjoy it. The most deep-seated and difficult directional influence to recognize is often the influence of your family, because you've spent many times all of your young life around them. Their influence may be too great, too overpowering, too invasive. This influence may not take into consideration that you are your own person with your own educational and professional goals. This all-encompassing influence may affect your ability to objectively choose the direction of your life. Your immediate family, parents, and siblings are usually the most influential. Grandparents, unless they become your parents and raised you, aunts and uncles and cousins have less influence most of the time. The first fact that can contribute to their less than healthy influence is that you came into your family as a baby. You've probably spent your childhood years in the care of your family. They most likely still see you as a child, even if you're 35 years old. I speak from experience with this one. Or with a career or children of your own. The second part of the problem is that they love you. They think they know you well, and they think they know what's best for you. Again, I speak from experience on this one. It's difficult for your family, especially your immediate family members, to not project their own fears, limitations, hopes, and dreams onto your life. Don't blame them, they're human. The challenge with family is that it's an emotional mixed bag. You have positive feelings and negative feelings for the same people, often to the extreme in both instances. Last but not least, let's talk about family, because I think family can be one of the biggest influences on our life. But if we have positive influences in our family, that's great. But what happens when you don't have those positive influences? Now, I know every person, when you're looking in on another family or another family dynamic, you can spot all of these idiosyncrasies. And I often feel like this is when you've got that close family friend and they come over and they see the way that your family gets on with one another, they can point certain things out. Or perhaps you are the new in-law in a family and you're sitting back and you can see all these family dynamics that perhaps maybe your husband can't see, and vice versa. If you feel your family has an overall negative impact on your life, there are 3 things that you can do. Make your own money, live your own life, and live it at a distance. If you can't move to a different city, put up your own boundaries. If you can't support yourself, get a second job. Be attentive about what information you share and who you share it with. Be attentive about being too available for needy family members. Moderate your responses to your family's behavior, maintain your integrity, don't be self-destructive or contrary just to make a point. Understand that sometimes family is meddling in your affairs and sometimes they're expressing genuine concern. Try to recognize the difference. Do this by considering the source and the intent. Ask yourself, is this a typical concern for a mother or father? Then ask yourself, what are they trying to accomplish with this behavior? Is it to control me, to keep me safe, to help me in the long run, hold me back? If you're in imminent physical danger, a victim of domestic violence, addicted to alcohol or drugs, or risking the health or safety of your own children, then your parents have a right to get into your personal business and, with the assistance of qualified professionals, intervene. Otherwise, they get to leave you in peace. Keep in touch regularly, but not frequently. Share information selectively. Let them read about it in the newspapers, is how one old money gal put it when I asked if she was going to tell her parents she sold her company. I'm guessing they had some issues, but she had definitely come to terms with who she needed approval or recognition from, and it wasn't mom and dad. Now here's the thing that I have learned about family. They often mean well, and they can also bring many positive influences, and they are often a wealth of knowledge and experience, and they've often taught you kindness. But often the family members that leave you with a little bit more negative experiences are the harder ones to navigate, and often we can be easily influenced by them. So what are you influenced by? I think a lot of people understand that we're being influenced by social media, but do you understand that it's coming in to you everywhere, not just social media, by radio, by TV, by movies, by books? Like, it's coming in absolutely everywhere. I would love to know what your biggest takeaways on this video is and how we can have a little bit more of an old money mindset and not be influenced as easily, or ensure that we are being influenced by the most appropriate things for our goals. Anyways, my friend, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please like the video so I know that this is a topic that you're liking diving deeper on. Because if you're not, we'll switch it up next series and we will talk about something different. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.